Another week has come upon us, and I welcome you to Zidam Astrology for the week of August 12th to the 18th, 2021. This is your weekly reading for Tarot and Patra, joined in marriage through Vedic astrology. Take yourself with me over the sea of life for a brighter day with Vedic astrology. I ask you to visit Zidam Astrology, share, sign up, subscribe, where you will get your Patra readings, your tarot spreads, your runes, your chakras, and crystals. Reports are customized for your use and learning. Okay, here we have the kundali for August 12th to the 18th, and we see we have some movement here from Cancer to Leo to Virgo. Mercury has moved from Cancer to Leo to join Mars. Venus has moved from Leo to Virgo, and Moon is also there, for 2.5 days. Sun remains in Cancer and will move to Magha to Leo on the 16th, and that will be what we call the Sakranti. So for the time being, for at least 5 days, Sun will remain in Cancer. And these are the planets that move on a monthly and bi-monthly basis, because Mars doesn't move every month. And these are the planets that changes our attitudes, our behaviors, our thoughts, our deeds, when they move from nakshatra to nakshatra, when they move from sign to sign, because we all know that by now that each sign has its own characteristic. Also, each nakshatra has its own characteristic. And Rahu is currently in Taurus, and I want to take a little look at Rahu this week for you, because Rahu is one of those grahas. Well, it's not really a graha, it's a mathematical point that we treat as a graha in Vedic astrology, and it is also viewed as the shadow of Saturn. So you'll find some characteristics between them, but the difference really here is that Saturn is a very old and matured planet, full planet. Rahu is just the head of the beast. Rahu is the head and Ketu is the tail. So that they always move anti-clockwise to the other planets. And in so doing, they always create chaos and difficulties and are a danger sometimes, depending on their strength and their placement. And Rahu right now is sitting in Rohini Nakshatra. And Rohini Nakshatra, Rahu will remain there until the 5th of October. And I just want to take a look at that nakshatra and show you that the analytical tools that we use to just use for one planet, one graha, one shadow of a planet, that we call the great deceiver and the illusionist. And we call Rahu the great deceiver and illusionist because Rahu doesn't have a body in which to implement or execute the strategies and thoughts that cloud his head and fill his head with thoughts. So that if Rahu is strong and Rahu is activated in our charts, we will always have these thoughts, grandiose ideas, and what we can accomplish, but we never know the how of it because Rahu is just in our heads. He's playing with our thoughts and our mind. So let us just look at Rohini and see how Rohini impacts on Rahu and what we might get out of it. These are some of the characteristics that Rohini, the star of ascent, gives to us in Vedic astrology. And here we have Rohini in Taurus, right? The sign of the bull. But Rohini in Taurus is owned by Venus, right? And I'm bringing Venus to you because Venus is the god of, or the guru of the asuras, or the demons. And with Venus here, Venus kinds of tampers down Rahu and his chaotic behavior, because he is the guru, he's the teacher. So Rahu will clearly listen to him as his teacher, right? We also have Pada 2 of Rohini being Pushkara and Vargotama, which means that there are blessings in this degree. So that if Rahu sits in Pada 2, then the blessings of the deities, the blessings of Venus, the blessings of the gods will be there to kind of hold back Rahu, or to take some of that chaotic thoughts out of his mind and give the strategy some kind of streamlining or light. Lord Brahma is there to create and probably create the energies that will enfold Rahu in a more uh, productive way rather than a chaotic way. The chariot is the symbol in that there is movement. We are looking forward. And this might be the energy that we wanted to give or invigorate Rahu to take, rather than one that is, wayward or airy. And this sign itself, Taurus, is an earth sign. It's a fixed sign, right? So that all these things we would have to include in our analysis of how Rahu impacts Taurus in Rohini Nakshatra for us, in whichever house Taurus is in our kundali. So that, we need to look at it. And again, the chakra for this star, the chakra for here is the Anahata chakra, which is the heart chakra. That, tells us that we may want to use our feelings or emotions rather than our head. So all these things play a part in directing Rahu in his energies, in his actions, and how we will deal with our issues that may come out depending on the house that Taurus is for us. And these are some of the things that we should keep in mind when we want to analyze Rahu in Taurus in Rohini Nakshatra. Come back to Rahu, the mythical beast, and this is Rahu, the head of the beast, and this is Ketu, the tail of the beast, and Rahu moves anti-clockwise, right? So that Ketu, the tail, will be following Rahu. So that between Gemini and Virgo or Libra, we have what we call the invisible or mythical belly of the beast, and Venus is there with Moon, Venus in Virgo, Mercury and Mars are there in Leo, and Sun is in Cancer. So these 5 planets right now are being squeezed because Rahu has in as an illusion taking them through his mouth to have them now in the belly of the beast. And they are being squeezed because, when you think about the digestive system of a snake or any beast, they squeeze you from their mouth and pull you into their stomach, and then their digestive juices, deal with you. So this is what is happening too right now with Sun, Mercury, Mars, Venus, and Moon. And some of these things is where we feel that we can't do anything, we can't move. And this is another analytical vision or illusion that we look at least assist in how people behave and how they feel during a month, during a week, during a day. And this can, really give you the potential outcomes through Vedic astrology as to what the planets are and how they really affect you. Because, if it is that you only believe in things that you see, then you don't believe in things that you don't see. You don't have faith, you don't have hope, you don't look forward to the invisibility of love and hate, because at the end of the day, these are some of the things that you cannot manifest in your hand. These are the things that you feel through your feelings in your head, and these are some of the things that Vedic astrology can give you a handle on as to why you behave and why you do what you do at any particular given time. It may not always be spot on or right on the head, because there are so many other things to look at, but at least it can give you some kind of comfort that what is happening to you is not fully what you may want to be happening to you, or what will last forever. Change is coming and change is here, and that is what we deal with. Okay, we once again doing a random selection for the week of August 12th to the 18th for the tarot spread. And again, I just want to reiterate again, the random selection, it is not scripted, it's not a setup deck, it is just something that is randomly selected by the guidance of the divine for me to interact with you. And we are going through the chakra wisdom card to see what is that guidance from the chakra wisdom, and it is bittersweet. Bittersweet is that card for this week that will guide us, the chakra, and we will analyze that as we finish our selection of cards for the week. And let us look at now the bhava, or the house, that we will focus on for this week. We had a running streak for 4 weeks and then 2 weeks. Will it be the same for this week? Are we going to continue that running streak? Let us find out. And the card that we have, oh no, we're not continuing the running streak. We have the 8th house. House of change, house of transformation, house of occult, house of in-laws, house of unearned wealth. Plenty things to deal with this week. And let us see the element. And okay, fire has just turned over on me, so that the element fire is what we will be dealing with our energies this week. And fire really is Mars and the sun. And remember, on the 16th of August, sun is going to move into its own sign, Leo, joining Mars, and that will be a lot of energy, a lot of passion, a lot of gung-ho attitude. So we need to check on that for this week. Let us see now the planet, or the graha, that we will pull out for this week to see where or how these planets are going to focus our energies and our thoughts. And that card is going to, wow, sun. Well, it's not going to cool down at all, because sun is just going to add to that passion and that action and that energy and authoritarian attitude and behavior for the week of August 12th to the 18th. We're going to have some rough times, or happy times, depending on our charts and the strength of the cards in our charts and the grahas in our charts, the Shadbala that we see in Vedic astrology. The deity that is going to hold our hands and guide us through this week will be a card that is going to show us how, with the blessings or divine intervention, we are going to deal with the issues that are upcoming. And that deity is, my goodness, Lord Yama, the god of death. So something is going to come to an end, something is ending, and it is something that will be based on our karma, on the law of judgment, that will bring us either happiness, sorrow, or that bittersweet feeling with that card that we pulled. Did we want this thing to end, or are we ending it because we have no other choice? So that bittersweet feeling may come in with Lord Yama being the deity for this week. And the tarot spread that I'm going to use this week is I'm going to continue to use the simple 6-card spread. I just feel we need to keep it simple with all these energies that are coming through this week. And the first card that we have for this week is the 7 of Pentacles. The 7 of Pentacles. We then have the 5 of Cups. The 5 of Cups. We have the sun. Wow, double sun for this week. Double ego, double father, double authoritarian behavior. The 6 of wands. That double sun is a little worrying. Then we have the lovers card. And the final card for this week is the 4 of Pentacles. 4 of Pentacles. So, but something about the spread looks familiar. I believe that we had some of these cards in a previous reading, so it's probably something that we need to redo, rethink, realign, something we didn't complete, and we are getting that chance. Like Saturn and Jupiter is giving us that chance in retrogression and in retrograde to complete what we didn't complete before. So let's move on and see what that's all about. Okay, we come to the energies that will be surrounding us this week. And first, the deity that we have is Lord Yama. Lord Yama is depicted as Lord of Death, where endings and transformations happen. But really and truly, Lord Yama does not inflict death. He actually is the deity that comes for you after you die, physically, so that he takes you either to heaven, hell, or brings you back to earth in another form based on your deeds or your karma. So that Lord Yama really brings transformation to you, and he brings justice. What did you do for you to deserve going to heaven? What did you do for you to deserve going to hell? Or was there a balance in your life that you have to return to finish karma that you weren't able to complete in this life? So that we don't need to fear Yama. He does not bring physical death to us. He deals with us after we do what we have done during this period of life that God has given us on earth. And the card next to it, you see it's bittersweet. And bittersweet is that celebration that we are celebrating joyously, but there is something that we still have on our conscience, we feel guilty or sad about. And that tells us that we need to look at ourselves. We need to understand that the only constant is change. And there is a English law lord who coined the phrase, the longevity of a practice is no justification for its continuity. And this is one of the mantras that I personally live by, in that change comes without us knowing, without us understanding, but we have to deal with it because we are here, we are living on earth, and whatever physical or intellectual change is coming, we can't get away from it, and we have to deal with it. So yes, we might have a bittersweet attitude, we might have a bittersweet behavior, but change is constant. And we need to understand that this week change is going to come for us. Continuing on the topic of change, the eighth house is just that. Change, transformation, regeneration, rebirth. And in the previous cards, we saw Lord Yama. And Lord Yama is the deity for the Bharani Nakshatra. And the Bharani Nakshatra is one where, you take that burden on yourself, that you are strong to carry that burden from one area to another. So that this in the eighth house, are we using our power in the right way? Are we using our intellect in the right way? What transformation is coming? Are we going to have good or bad? This eighth house is based on your kundali. What sign is this in? What planets are next to you with in this eighth house? Are they benefics or malefics? What will happen in this eighth house for you? But it continues the trend and the theme of change, of transformation, of regeneration and rebirth. And speaking back to Bharani Nakshatra, right now Uranus, the god of the sky and earth, and the god of rebellion, is in Bharani Nakshatra. And that is telling you something, that Bharani Nakshatra, it coaxes erratic behavior, but it gives you freedom and creativity. In a chart, it's usually associated with you going against the establishment, you going against tradition, so that change is coming. What are you not doing traditionally that will bring change for you? And the card next to the eighth house that brings about the energies is the sun. And remember, sun is all about leadership, a realization of power, a demonstration of authority. And that's exactly what the card is saying. And then you have fire as the element. Sun, we think about light and you seeing your way and a new pathway being illuminated for you. And fire gives you that passion, that energy, but it can also bring chaos, so that These are the energies that are surrounding us this week. Something is coming to an end. We probably have taken the burden. We were strong enough, but something is coming to an end. Is it that some legal issue that we are dealing with? Is it some other issue that in terms of a guru or teacher or father that is coming to an end? These are the little things that we need to look out for and be aware of for this week upcoming in our lives. The Seven of Pentacles in our tarot spread this week depicts our past. What have we done in the past? We have worked hard. We have done so with quiet confidence. We have gained personal fulfillment. That we have salvaged our assets. We have thought and flourished in terms of productivity. We are now getting dividends or have gotten dividends in our past for hard work. And now we need to nurture and cultivate that asset base that we have gained through our hard work. And Lord Yama and Bharani tells us that, that you have to work for it. Don't expect that it will just fall in your lap. The eighth house says change. So what is the change that we bringing from the past? We are bringing change from the past that we have set the foundation, not in sand, but in concrete. We have set the foundation in cement, and we are taking root of that foundation, because that foundation is now giving us the harvest. It's now paying us out. It's now giving us the wealth to thrive and to move ahead. Perseverance brings rewards, and this is what your past is bringing for you, and this is what you have in your past. So understand that the foundation has been set for you. The Five of Cups in our present situation tells us, yes, you have lost something. Based on the spillage in front of us, we have lost something, but you still hold two cups in your hand that has whatever that you wanted it to have. Did you want to have some kind of asset or emotions? What kind of relationship were you going for? Don't bend your head. Yes, you have lost something, but you have also retained something, and don't look down and be heartbroken. Don't be guilty or blame yourself. What had to happen happened. You couldn't hold it all. You couldn't hold the five cups in two hands. Something had to give, and what had to give is what has been lost. So look up, look forward, and move on. The future for us is depicted by the sun. And what is the sun? It's all about positivity. It's all about victory. It's all about loyalty. It's all about being, an innocent purity. The sun is shining on us. We have wisdom and maturity. We have vitality. We have life. So what can we be sad about? Put the past behind us, deal with the present, and look to the future, because the sun is here. And remember, the sun is moving to Leo, its own home, in August, or on August 16th. And when you are in your own home, you are very comfortable. You can relax, you can deal with whatever issues, because you are in charge of yourself, and you will be in charge of those visiting you and who are not visiting you, so that you will put boundaries in the future as to whom you interact with and what you do. But the sun is a positive feeling. The sun is a positive in abundance, in joy, in having work, in the ship coming to port. That is what it is. Your ship is arriving. It is coming to dock for you, so that your future is a positive step. The Six of Wands is showing you that you are going to get that acknowledgement and that acclaim that you have worked for. That you are standing on the top of the world. The eagle is there on your shoulder. The achievements, the awards, the winning, the success. You are riding high, because you have done the work. That is your strength. You weren't lazy. You have done the work, and all is looking up to you now for you to have that success, have that acclaim, have that stability in your life, that recognition. So be enthusiastic, continue to be the go-getter that you are. Don't let anything keep you back. Celebrate life, become the VIP that you are, because that is your strength. Don't hide, don't bend your head. Take the bull by the horn and ride with the sun or into the sunset. The Lover's card is the external forces that come in to deal with our relationship. And in the Lover's card, in the original Rider-Waite deck, you would see that two persons are naked, where they have nothing to fear, nothing to hide. The tree of knowledge and the tree of life are behind them. The angel is blessing them. The sun is shining. The world is blue behind them. The mountains are smooth, and it looks like they can scale the mountains. So that this card also came directly under the Five of Cups. And remember that spillage. So probably a relationship is something that you had to change, or a relationship is something that you had to transform or cut out from your life for the weakness that these cards depict, because something or someone, maybe a business partner, maybe a spouse, maybe a sibling, a neighbor, they are currently not probably giving you the positivity or the advice that you really require, and that you know that in your intuitive sense that is not right. So this is why that spillage happened. So make that choice, because change is here, and if the relationship has to change, then that is a message that you have to deal with. Some kind of relationship has to change, has to transform. Probably you have to take the next step. You have gathered all the material resources. You are not tied to anything. You have nothing to hide. So that don't let people, or take away from you your victories and your success, your achievements, and recognition. Don't let their sayings or their thoughts put you in a position where you have self blame, where you are blaming yourself for something. No, these things are telling you that, listen, you have done the work, you have come into the present, and you are going into the future, into the sun. So change that relationship if you have to. However, it has to change for the better or for the worse. The Four of Pentacles shows that you are sitting on your wealth. You are guarding your wealth. You are hugging your wealth. Is your wealth your personality or your personal achievement? Is it material assets? What are you holding on to? Don't be greedy. Don't be obsessive. You know, don't just hang on to something. It has to grow. And the advice is for you to let go. It's still going to be there because you have worked for it. Unless you have some kind of weak systems in place that will not guard or strengthen your wealth, be it emotional or physical or material. So that, hear what? Stop blocking, stop obstructing yourself in growing, in growth. Take your feet off the pentacles, take your feet off of the pillars that are there, and move forward. The pillars are not going to move. You remember, you have placed them on a solid foundation by your past actions. And four pillars on the Four of Pentacles is showing you that four pillars is a sturdy, it's stable. It will bring you security. Don't be afraid to do something new. Don't be afraid to change. Don't be afraid to transform. Take that next step for your growth and development, and don't remain in stagnation, just holding on to what you have. Be different, and be that go-getter, be that gung-ho person, where you are looking after your interests, but your interests will also be advocating help for others. Be that person that the Lord wants you to be. Okay, you're just coming back to the transit or the kundali for August 12th to 18th. And remember, we had sun, a double sun. In the energy card, sun came up as the graha or planet. And in the tarot spread, sun came up in the position of our future. So what is, and then Sun, remember Sun is moving from um, Cancer into Leo, its own home. And when Sun moves from Cancer into Leo, it is going to join Mars and Mercury. And at the end of the day, Sun also moves out from the discipline that would have been Saturn's opposition to him in Cancer. He will now have Jupiter's opposition. So that while Jupiter may want to give intelligence and wisdom, Sun is saying, I'm at home and I can do what I want, when I want, and how I want. But at the end of the day, please double down, not double up, because you can have that attitude after a victory or a success, and it may not come across too well with others. Because remember, one of the energies that we are also feeling this week is bittersweet. And why would we feel bittersweet? We would be celebrating, but we will be celebrating with a conscience that says we didn't do something right, or we didn't say something right. So let us have that in the back of our minds, in our mental space, that yes, we might have success or victory, or future is looking bright, everything is going our way for this week. But hear what? We got two Sun cards coming out in the tarot that will try to give us a heads up in the kundali, and that is aligning itself to tell us that, when you go home, yes, feel comfortable, feel grateful that you have made it home, you have taken all the abuse and negativity from outside, you have now come home, you are going to relax, but relax in a way that you do not have that feeling of bittersweet, of a guilty conscience, of yes, I'm celebrating, but I'm holding back a little because I know I didn't do something right, or I didn't deal with someone in the right way. And this is the wrap up that I want you to understand with the Vedic astrology and the tarot spread for the week of August 12th to the 18th. As I always reiterate, I will not be here without Bhagwan's blessings. And this month is Shravana month. And, Lord Shiva is our deity, or our God for this month, where every Monday, worship to him gives an added oomph to life, and an added blessings to you, so that we have only passed one Monday, or in fact two, so that let us have a little spiritual awareness for the month of August, in the Shravana month. And I always thank you for sticking with me. I always thank you for taking the time to come to the end of this video, and may Bhagwan always bless you and keep you safe and healthy. I will see you next time, I hope. Bye.